It being 5:30, we'll call the meeting to order of the Ayer Board of Health for August 29th. And before we go into agenda items, I'd like to welcome Samantha Benoit, who is our new voice of the Board of Health. So
Yeah.
when you call, Samantha's who you'll get.
You'll get.
And you've been on board now for what, 3 weeks or so?
Just about?
Yeah.
Just
But
about.
we're excited to have you here.
We are.
We're very happy to have you here and
Yes.
look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome. And I'd like to acknowledge Robert Brian, thanking him for stepping in until we had Sam on board, taking our notes and,
Yeah.
putting in the time after many hours of work. So I wanted
That
to
was-
thank him and acknowledge that.
Yeah. It was very much appreciated.
Yes.
Absolutely. So the first item on the agenda is an executive session pursuant to Mass General Law 30A, Section 21A, Exemption 3. If someone else wants to read the rest of that, I'm good with that. To discuss.
This piece, no,
Yeah,
this
that one.
piece has to be read. Okay. All right, executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Exemption Number 3, to discuss litigation strategy with respect to the case of Mimi's Place LLC, the Board of Health of the Town of Ayer et al., Middlesex Superior Court, CA 2181CV 4967. If discussing the matter in open session will have a detrimental effect on the town's litigating position and the chair so declares.
Is there a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the board will be in executive session just to come out and go back into
And
open
you-
session.
You declared.
I declare this.
You declared. I
So,
know it.
but Cindy, because this is a hybrid meeting, do we need to read that paragraph above?
You should read the paragraph for open session.
Okay, the meeting, so Barry, we're still in open session, right?
Yes.
So, because the board is meeting in a hybrid session, which means it's available either Zoom or in person. So if we can read that paragraph under the agenda, just so that we're legal.
All right. This meeting of the Ayer Board of Health will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access these proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID number 880-9915-1478 or by calling 301-715-8592. For additional information about remote participation, participation, please contact Samantha Benoit, Administrative Coordinator at Benoit, B-E-N-O-I-T, at ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 145, prior to the meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, the first item, we are going into executive session just to come out to go into open session. So, Barry, executive session. So the Board of Health is back in open session.
Recording in progress.
And the first item on the agenda in our reconvened open session is public input. There's no one here, and there's no one in Zoom land.
Nope.
So we'll move on from public input to old business. Bridget, you're back to handshakes again.
All
right.
Jeez.
I'm back. Okay.
So, I saw the COVID-19 report, and Ayer had more reported cases than the county and the state average 2 weeks ago, but the latest report, Ayer is back down below the state and the county average. Anything new on your end on COVID, or?
Not really. I think we're starting to see things trend down a little bit. Hopefully it keeps going in that direction, but you know, I am anticipating with the start of school, there'll probably be somewhat of an uptick again. But
A friend of mine
we won't know until that happens.
A friend of mine who's an ER doc said that they're starting to see more flu cases now, just regular flu.
That would- Yeah.
So that's happening as well.
Isn't that early?
Yeah. It does seem early. Feels early.
But I bet you a lot of people didn't get the flu shots during the whole COVID because they were being inundated with vaccines and boosters.
That
and,
could be,
you
yeah.
know, maybe they didn't get it.
Yeah, that could be. It just reminded me, I need.
Bridget, are there any clinics being planned for either flu shots or for COVID boosters?
So we're doing, we are doing flu shots. I don't think they're doing boosters as part of that, but I can double check on that, but we're still in the planning phase. I don't think the schedule has been officially released yet.
Okay. The other thing under COVID, there are test kits available at 4 different locations in town, from the Board of Health office, the fire department, housing, or the,
Senior?
Senior
Was it the
housing?
Senior housing?
is that in one of the, what's the other place, Bridget? There was 4 places, right?
Senior center, fire, police, and then Board of Health.
Okay. So they are available, and there's 2 kits per family if people want to get them, is that correct?
Correct.
So Samantha, I know you're new, but has anyone stopped by to pick up kits or anything, or
I
inquire?
probably have 6 to 7 people a day.
Really?
Oh, wow, that's great.
I've gotten rid of quite a few.
Do they sign for the kits when they get them?
I just ask for them.
Is there any limitation in terms of someone coming in every day to pick up 2 kits?
It's at this point it hasn't happened.
Okay.
I think it's definitely the honor system, and I'm the only one who's dealing with it, so I'll know your face.
You might know this, if you're on Medicare, you're eligible for 8 kits.
Really?
I only know that because my husband's been going over and getting
8 kits?
And you get them from pharmacy?
CVS, you just go
Really?
over and you, yeah.
God,
I guess,
I had no idea.
Check it out, I mean, I
Yeah, it
just know
does.
it's
I
the different.
should send up.
the only question I have is that if we have 3 different locations in here doing this, is there any collaboration between the locations that people aren't going to the town hall and getting to, and the
yeah.
fire station getting to, and then the housing and getting to? It would be nice to, and not that I don't trust people, but it would be nice that it be done fairly.
If
Are they
had
still
a-
scarce? Like,
I don't,
that anybody would feel the need to stock up, or is that kind of?
I don't know, but I think
Yes.
Bridget made a good point, and now that school has started, you might see
Yeah,
an
that's
uptick and
true.
people will.
Yeah.
But is there, like, you had
Well,
said,
I'm
a
just thinking,
sign-out
why
sheet?
can't we just have a
Yeah.
sign-up sheet for people to get them, and then maybe just let people know that if you're getting 2 here, is it
Yeah.
2 per week, 2 per
It's 2 per family.
family per?
I was just told 2 per family.
Do you know, Bridget, if it?
So I think the way that we were thinking, because we literally have 5 or 6 more cases, and there's 90 test kits in each case. Our kind of feeling at the office was most towns aren't tracking it because we just want to honestly get rid of them because they're going to expire.
They're gonna expire,
Yeah.
right?
Too.
So we
Yeah.
also, just sort of as a side note, we also have some at our office that so I've been giving them out to some Ayer residents there too that have called, and just we have them in our office so people can take them when they come in, because we have like 4 cases as well. So as far as I know, it's not like there's this huge rush in to get them, but they will expire at some point, so we just want to make sure they get used.
Yeah, that
What's
makes
the
sense.
expiration date on those? It's only
Well,
like
they were
3 weeks?
extended, and that is
It ends
questionable right now as
It-
well.
At this point in time, the expiration date ends in October, because that's the biggest concern I've gotten.
That's what's on the label?
The one on the label says it's already expired, and then the new stickers tell you the new expiration
Okay.
date, which we did the math, and it's October, and that's
Okay.
that makes a few people nervous.
So you'd have to look on the government
I would just hate
website.
to see them showing up on eBay or someplace like that. No, it happens.
I know.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
We should
If-
just kind of keep an eye on the,
Yeah.
flow of
Yeah.
stuff and.
But I would think that just having someone that got them having their name on a piece of paper, your name's not going to go anywhere. It's not an invasion of privacy, is it?
No, it's not, but I don't know. I guess I'm just wondering why if we don't.
How many were gone from? Okay, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. No,
No,
I just.
if we see them like start
No.
flying out of
I-
here like crazy.
I'm just thinking anything that you pick up someplace, usually sign that you picked it up. That's all.
Yeah.
And if someone said they got them here, how would we even know that that was true?
People are so strange. Everybody has quirks about, well, I don't like to give my name for this and that. I mean, there are people that don't like to give their names to, like, go into the town beach
Okay.
and stuff. And
I'm over it.
I don't get it. Anybody can have my name.
I don't know. You go to stand in
Yeah.
line someplace and you give them your name when you stand in line.
I know, yeah. I wouldn't want to do anything that inhibits people from
Oh,
getting
for sure. I mean, I'm not
it.
saying like
Just-
checking
yeah.
IDs, but I mean, if you want to be John Doe, you can be John Doe.
Yeah, that's true. Sign a name.
Yeah. Okay, we'll forget about that.
Okay.
And if it becomes an issue,
But if we need to.
okay. So this is new business and old business. The Westford Road noise complaint, which Bridget and I followed up on. Apparently the person wasn't satisfied or said that there was no response from the town at all.
Yeah, is this a repeat?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is incorrect. I've gone by there again a couple times. I see nothing different. But I'm also sympathetic to the person complaining. But without someone having what time of day is this occurring? When is it occurring? The complaint and keeping track of it. We can go down and check the same time. Or if it's certain days of the week, we can check on those days, but we don't have the manpower to put someone down there 24/7 to listen. So
Is this related to a specific business?
it is. It's related to the bacon.
Bacon Joy.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
It was the diesel trucks, right?
Right. But I think as a courtesy to a business in the town of Ayer, I have no problem stopping by Bacon Joy and just letting them know that we are hearing complaints. And if your trucks are running,
Yeah.
it's going to become an issue.
Yeah.
But
That
I'll
seems
stop in and do
reasonable,
that.
yeah.
I'll find out whoever the GM is. And maybe Bridget, if you want to come with me, it's up to you. But I'd be happy to let them know
So
that.
what I was gonna do is just try to get the plant manager's information and give them a call and just kind of talk to them.
I'm gonna stop by anyhow. I've been in there before, but if you get the guy's name or the person's name, let me know and then I'll ask for someone. But I'll stop by.
Okay.
But it's not like it's, excuse me, happening in the middle of the night or at 4 a.m. or,
Don't know. The letter's not specific about it, but like I
You said
said,
you didn't hear anything, right? When the
no.
movie went
There's
by?
a chiller on the roof for air conditioning, which has always been on the roof.
Yeah.
But the complaint is more about trucks idling, and I don't, like I said, as a courtesy to the plant manager, we'll let him know that
Yeah,
there is a
yeah.
complaint, and he can say great, or he can say whatever he wants to say. But I think just to let him know, and if the complaint wants to track this and let us know what time of day, we can pursue it
Yeah, I mean, that
further,
would
is,
certainly be good information to do a better follow-up.
isn't there a regulation that we talked about
Yeah.
once, affect all town?
Yep.
Those,
Yep,
yeah,
and
the idling of.
Yeah.
And they have signs up there that say
No.
no idling.
Yeah.
So, I'll report back at our next meeting, but I'll make it a point to Like I said, Bridget, if you get the name, I'll stop in and try to.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have anything else on that, Bridget? or-
Nope.
No? Okay. Discussion regarding the Shoba update. That would be you.
That would. So the only update I had, I sent you that, the letter today regarding the Westford Road
Yep.
issue. And then, I'm trying to, I think, was there another email that I sent as well? I thought I had sent you another one.
The one, there was one for the tobacco violation and there was
Yes.
Yeah,
one
that
for
was
Westford
it.
Road.
So there were a few tobacco violations. Pauline's was fine. One was, that was collected, and they're working on the other two. One is, I believe, Air Convenience and Gulf.
Okay.
So I talked to the tobacco control representative today, Donna, and she is going to try and collect those fines, and that payment will go directly to the town.
Okay. So this is new territory for me in terms of tobacco. What responsibility do we have in terms of tobacco licenses?
So we issue the tobacco licenses, and then if there are issues with selling to minors or selling products that aren't supposed to be sold, the Tobacco Control Alliance will do the work and send the fines, collect the fines. Those come to the town of Ayer. If they have an issue collecting the fines, they will have them come into a Board of Health meeting. And so you will be notified that you need to have a certain individual into a Board of Health meeting for
Should
enforcement issues.
Should anything go up from the Air Board of Health to these businesses saying we're aware of violations?
I don't think it's necessary, but if you want that to happen, I'm sure that, I mean, there's no reason why you can't send them.
I think it's important that you don't sell tobacco products to underage, number one. But I think it's important that the businesses know that we're watching this now. So,
You know how we could do it is Bridget, am I correct that this is Ayer's first violation in many years? I remember when we were redoing the
Yeah.
tobacco regulations, it came up that Ayer at that time, had not
No.
had a problem with compliance checks in years.
I think they've had some issues. It's just what happens is they get warnings depending on what it is. So I don't know that they've necessarily had fines for a few years, but I think there's been some sporadic warnings in there. I can check with the Tobacco Control Alliance to try and get that history.
Well, I was thinking that could be an interesting way to word it if we did want to send something out. To
Well,
just say, Ayer's, had a long history of
Yeah.
100% compliance, and
do you want to draft
it's
something?
kind of slipping, yeah.
Draft something with Samantha just as a note to these businesses that we have been advised of violations?
Yeah, Bridget, if you can send me, again, we don't want to identify specific people, but if you could just send me the information from tobacco control, like what actually has happened. We had no violations for these years. We had, 2 warnings in this year. We had a fine in another year. Because I just kind of want to see what the history is. But if you can get her to just send me that stuff, sure. Yep, can you draft something?
Wasn't this, Bridget, was this oils, vape? It wasn't so much tobacco, it was, or does it matter? It doesn't matter.
I think one of the ones they weren't supposed to be selling the item, the flavored stuff.
Right.
I think another one was vape to a minor maybe. Or I can double check with Donna.
Because that was the last thing that when we voted on that, 18,
Mm-hmm.
when Joan was
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And that made some people very unhappy.
Well,
because
I just
it
think
was
it's
a big deal.
important that
Yeah.
we let them know that this has happened.
Yeah.
And if it happens again, then we'll call them in. Who's that? that you?
No.
With Cindy? Okay. Well, now that we have our musical
Johnny Cash.
Muted it. Oh my god.
I love it. All right.
Oh gosh.
That was good entertainment.
Ah.
Yeah, why not?
So you'll get the other,
Yeah, I will. If
We'll
you
draft
just forward whatever you can get,
we'll draft it.
Bridget, or if you don't want to be stuck in the middle of it, tell
So
her.
it's just
to send it
it's
to
just
you,
a statement,
yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
saying
just a
their name
statement.
or anything, just letting them know that the Board of Health has been aware of this, and it's been a very long time since.
Yeah,
that-
and
and-
I want to give them credit, because
Yeah.
they've been doing the right thing
Right,
for a long time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, keep up
I
your
think we
good
need
record,
the
guys.
motion that she'll just take care of that then?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's fine.
Anything else, Bridget?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Are we, okay, I don't know if this technically comes under you, Bridget, but where are we with chickens and animals and vines and beasts and
Beasts of burden.
the beast of burden and yeah, is anybody spoken to animal inspector?
Julie?
Well, Julie usually sends out an email if there's any incidents, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
anything from Julie for a while.
And all that business with the barn book, that's just on a regular basis.
Yeah, that
she
kind
takes
of
care
does its thing every year. And chicken permits?
I have 3 new ones.
Ah,
Oh my gosh, all right. So you're on top of the chicken permits, clearly.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Wasn't confident sounding, but okay.
Life is wonderful, that's awesome. And then there was one other thing from the last, the deceased
I was gonna, yeah.
person, did we just,
Yeah, so the
Any
follow-up
info?
that I got, and Bridget, correct me if I'm wrong, Bridget talked to Jim, and Jim believed that they had found a different venue for taking care of that problem without it going through the Board of Health. So apparently it's been resolved, but they did it, maybe there was a relative, I don't know.
Okay.
But that's what Jim had said, right?
Yeah, there was another avenue that they could go.
Right.
And because we haven't heard from them, we're thinking that they probably went that route.
Because is that the standard to, I know it's very rare that it happens, but is that how?
From Jim, he had
He had
never
never heard.
He had never had that
yeah,
happen.
I think it's a really
So,
unusual
yeah.
occurrence.
I'm sure that their attorney probably found some way that they could
Yeah.
dispose of. No, that's when it came to us to begin with.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
probably
exactly.
looking at the
Yeah.
easiest avenue.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Couple things. We do have minutes, and
Yes,
it's not on the
just looking
agenda.
at it.
But I'm not uncomfortable if you're comfortable with the minutes of approving them, and then I'll sign them on behalf
Yeah,
of
actually,
the
it
board.
looks like it's just
There
like
was just a little-
couple
Little typos, but
Yeah.
we have to be very careful.
apparently so. Do you
Yeah, we
want,
should have a motion to accept the minutes.
well, I was wondering, should I like make hand corrections on?
Do you have this file by any chance?
I do.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just, what are the corrections, Pam, and we'll just vote on the
let's
corrected
see.
minutes.
Okay. You're not gonna follow Yup, I assume.
Yeah, that's the one I found.
And I think there was one earlier about trailer. There was one like around here. Where the heck did it go? I don't see it. Oh, that might have just been it.
Which one?
There's just a T missing on this one. We also received a complaint.
Yep.
I think that was it. How did the tiny house turn out anyway? Is there still stuff ongoing about that? Or?
Bridget, you sent a second letter on that, didn't you, or you were going to?
I actually, you know what? I did not send the second letter. I can do that tomorrow.
Okay.
The first one went out certified. Oh no, you know what? The first one went out regular mail. We can do this one certified.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we know if we had any other complaints?
That's it, just really minor.
Not to me, I haven't received
Okay.
any. I don't know if Charlie has or not.
I'll check with him tomorrow. I don't think there have been in the past couple of weeks, but I'll follow up with him tomorrow and then send something out certified.
Okay.
I know in the envelope, I thought did I send that letter at some point to you?
Yes, I did see
Okay.
the letter that you sent,
Okay.
the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send the same thing certified to make sure that they received it.
Okay. You guys good with that?
Yep,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
So should we
Thank you, Bridget.
should we vote on these minutes
Yeah.
Yeah,
with?
so I'll move
Yeah.
that we accept the minutes of, oh my gosh, what was that date?
July 25th.
Of the July 25th, 2022 Board of Health meeting.
Motion's made to accept the minutes of July 25th. Is there a second?
I second it.
Just for discussion purposes, that would be with corrections.
Yeah, with the,
Yes.
with corrections.
Okay. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So officially, for minutes, my name's supposed to be PH, not STEVE.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just let it slide. I know, I know. It's just
I can fix that.
I didn't even know that.
less letters is easier, so.
Why are there two different ways
I
to
don't
spell
know.
that? That's so silly.
It is. So, this is gonna be our new call log.
Okay,
Yep.
So we have a new call.
I
I
like
think,
that.
to me, that works perfect.
yeah, yeah, I like it.
I think that's all, you know,
Something I'm just curious about, I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna take up everybody's time, but there's the complaint about the rehab facility. Do those rehab facilities fall under Board of Health, or like what part of them does? I would imagine like kitchen and.
Well, but it says it's outside
housing.
our jurisdiction. That was the action Bridget had next to it.
so actually,
But,
the state has inspectors that go out to nursing homes and to
Yeah.
all these facilities. They're licensed by the state. And when I worked for the Attorney General's office, that was one of the things that we did, is follow up on
okay.
rehab facilities, extended care
Okay,
facilities, things
okay.
like that.
So does that take precedence over like the regular
Well-
like kitchen and housing
If someone had
code, or
a,
do they enforce it? Or
if
what?
someone had a complaint that was imminent health related, that would still fall under Board of Health, though, right?
Sorry. So if they have a complaint, what falls under the Board of Health is, I would take the kitchen piece of it.
Right.
Right.
And depending on what the nature of the complaint was, I usually check in with Tamara, and she might refer that to the state,
Okay,
again, depending on what the nature of the complaint is.
yeah. So it's kitchens and then residential stuff, right? But they're not apartments. or-
It's not care related, so if
No,
it's
it's,
care related, it
it's-
falls under the state.
Sanitation.
Sanitation.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Food
gotcha.
related.
Okay.
Yeah, or cleanliness, if the place was filthy,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
something
that's
like
true,
that.
yeah.
Do we know what the nature of the complaint was?
Yeah, he was upset that I mean, he was in a facility outside of our region.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, he
Okay.
wasn't,
Right,
like,
yeah.
like, it was outside of our jurisdiction, like,
Oh,
which is
okay.
not even here, and he was complaining, like, he couldn't get his stuff, and he was transported to hospital. He was just obviously agitated and upset, and I think he
Okay,
just
gotcha.
was looking.
So it was like an operational thing, getting
Yes.
stuff and moving to
Yes.
places and stuff.
And what was the O'Reilly's Auto Parts thing?
Yeah, that's in Devon's, right?
Well, I don't, so they're opening up a facility, I guess, in Ayer too, from what I understand. But yeah, the distribution point is in Devon's, it's not in Ayer.
They just,
It's on Devon's, and I referred it to Neil, who was takes care of Devon's.
Okay. And 24 Harvard Road,
So they were looking for a mold test, which we do not do.
okay.
I think she was gonna call, she gets public housing, I think she was gonna call our Cap Solutions.
Okay.
Condos?
Condos? There?
It's gotta be Markham
Right.
Circle.
Yeah, it's probably the condos.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
like
Yeah.
this.
The next thing we have is meeting schedule.
Yes.
Excuse me. But, want to get back to the, was it first and third? Is that what you're doing, or
It
second and
used
fourth?
to be second and fourth.
Fourth.
Want to just say second and fourth?
That works. What happens though is that at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, it gets
Yeah.
wonky.
Why don't
And
we-
then
Why don't we say second and fourth for September and October?
we can do September and October, and then
We can, let's
What's
just,
with
let's just say
elections?
second and fourth, and then if we need to change it, we can do it at the next meeting.
yeah.
So let's just go second and fourth from here through the end of the year.
Yeah, and then we can look at the dates for what makes
Yeah.
sense in
So for a
November.
posting perspective, that kind of gives you some guidance, second and fourth. Okay.
I can work with that.
So the next meeting of the Board of Health will be on the 12th. Right? Right?
Write it down. It was written down two places.
That's not a holiday that he's doing. No, we don't do
Can I use your pen when you're done?
Columbus Day isn't a holiday.
Well, Columbus
It's
Day is in October
Indigenous
anyhow.
People Day.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. Indigenous
Actually, the
Peoples'
state
Day.
hasn't officially changed it.
Is what?
The state hasn't officially changed it. It's still Columbus Day.
That's funny because
Okay.
it's
Is that a holiday?
It's Indigenous People.
So is that the 12th?
It's
No,
Columbus Day,
no,
but
it's October. It's not in September.
right.
Oh, yeah.
That Johnny Cash song really, really
So we're looking at
I wasn't expecting it. It threw me off.
September 12th and September 26th. Yes.
Yeah.
And then October.
That one's gonna be Columbus Day. That one.
And we can,
Is that? Yeah, thank you.
yeah, we can postpone that. Let's get through September though, and then make
Yeah.
a decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for now, second and fourth. Cool. Okay.
We've lost our master scheduler.
Um,
We've never been so well
12
scheduled.
to
since.
26.
What is
So
that for?
noted.
12th October?
No.
No.
No, okay. We're still on September?
Who's on first?
I'm just, I can't think about it anymore.
This heat really gets to you, doesn't
It
it?
does, and I had to work this weekend, so
Oh.
I am brain fried.
So, administrative matters, bills and mail. We have no bills, I'm aware of. And we have chicken permits.
We have chicken permits.
Awesome.
We have,
It's always amazing to me.
I know. There are a lot of chickens here.
So, how's that work? If you have one chicken, you have to have a permit for one
Yep.
chicken? Really?
Yep.
Every chicken has a
Oh,
permit?
no, it's not per, it's,
No, I get that.
Per
If you have
location.
one chicken. you
yeah,
still
yeah,
have
if
to
you
have
only have
permit.
one chicken, it needs a.
It needs a friend.
I have four.
These are, yeah.
One.
Some of the standard.
There's one new one, and I think everyone else is repeats.
Okay.
I'm curious because I know someone in my neighborhood that has chickens now, and I'm like, that's neat.
I love my across the street chickens. I love their little chicken noises. You know, they're happy and then they get all distressed. They have different noises for
We had a
that.
guy that had a rooster, and as soon as the sun would come
Oh.
up, like at 5:30 in the morning, the rooster was up in a tree.
Oh, that would not be good.
Anyhow, what's your pleasure on the chicken permits for 5 Groton Shirley Road, 49 Pearl Street, 7 Union Street, and 80 Central Avenue?
They paid their dues and did what they're supposed to do.
Is there a motion?
We haven't done that for
Just to accept the
No,
minutes?
I think the chair just, I don't know.
Yeah, chair just signs them, because it's kind of, it's like just an application
Yeah.
and.
And
you
they
know,
paid the fee, and that's their permit, and it goes on record with a
Okay.
signature that,
We're good with this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Until- yeah.
Yeah.
I use your pen?
Yeah.
Thanks.
so it expires a year from date.
No,
Is
they-
it a year?
No, May 31st.
May 31st.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Although,
not that long.
there's nothing magic about May 31st.
I like
If,
that.
you know, if it turns, I think we did that to try to stagger it with all these other different
Right.
due dates, but,
Yeah.
you know, if you start to find that things are bunching up on you, because you've got trash haulers in November, and, I don't know, maybe May is okay, but.
I'll find out.
There's no reason why we couldn't move that if it would
Yeah.
be more convenient for you for some reason.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
Is there anything else coming before the board?
I
I
don't
think that's it.
Bridget? Did I know?
Yeah, I read our lips. It
She
was-
was muted.
I'm good.
Nothing else? Okay.
Nothing else.
Well, other than that, Sam, it's great having you here.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And is there a motion to adjourn?
Absolutely. I move we adjourn. It is 6:15.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion's made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Board of Health is adjourned.
Thank you.